Good morning and welcome to Advantage One RV, everybody. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and I'm going to say this is better than brand new. And that's a big, bold statement, and I feel I can back it up. This is a only 4,180 pound Rockwood. Awesome little couples camper with a sofa slide that it's awesome for traveling. First of all, the fact that it weighs 4,200 pounds, basically, empty before cargo. It is short. It has their basically independent four-wheel torsion axle and suspension system. It's hard to find a better little tower and goer. Not to mention the fact that when you close the slide, you don't lose nothing in this camper, and it remains 100% accessible. And when I say better than new, here's what I mean. This thing looks like it was polished with a diaper and then stored in a time capsule. Part of what's really helping us is the fact that it has a full RV cover here, which is included. When you get inside that pass-through compartment up here, you'll see that there's things like an outdoor rug and all kinds of different like Rhino Flex hoses and everything, which are included. When we flip to the other side, you see that their load-leveling anti-sway hitch for nice ride and handling is included. And I can't find a single thing wrong with this. Actually, they had an entire roof coating RV armor system put on top of this. So not only was it stored under a cover, they added an extra layer of protection on the area of the RV that frankly needs the greatest amount of protection. It's better than new. So the previous owners, the only previous owners of this actually, they bought it brand new at the very tail end of 2019 calendar year. This is a 2020 model year. So it was, when they just transitioned over. And I mean, this is beautiful. I love the rich, warm colors in here. And I'll tell you this, the only factory standard equipment I haven't located in this, to my knowledge, is just there's like a little free floating, I call it Dinofa table that you could put behind the sofa when you're not using it, or flip it out in front of the sofa when it is in use. And it's possible it's just squirreled away somewhere and I haven't located it yet, but this thing is about as close to factory fresh as you're going to get here. And I think one of the most impressive aspects of this little trailer is its just total storage capacity. The fit and the finish, the craftsmanship in Rockwood stuff, I don't want to say always. I don't want to use an absolute term like that, because I don't necessarily believe that any RV is ever perfect, but the work that they do out of this company, it's about as close to perfect as you're ever going to see from somebody. Now back over here, right next to the door, we have I call it the grab and go refrigerator, because the doors open into the RV. You see where the door handles are, right? It swings to the right-hand side. So you open that back door, you grab a drink, you step back out, you never really track any dirt through the camper. That can either be an extra hanging closet, like a coat closet by the door, or as you can see right now, it's in like pantry mode. And you might have noticed that's a larger 22-inch oven down there. Now, speaking of sizing of things, I kind of flipped past the bed pretty quickly, I realized. The bed in this is a 60 by 74 Camp Queen. So might wonder, well, is a true queen capable? And the answer to that is, well, yes, but actually no. What I mean is, since there's, it's a wide open bed, and I love that pivoting TV. You can watch TV from anywhere in this thing, and I literally mean anywhere. This camper is toilet TV certified. You could literally open that door and watch TV from the toilet if you're so inclined, but I would not recommend doing that if you are camping with friends and or family. Just a personal recommendation. So with nothing blocking the end of this bed, other than maybe just those privacy curtains, there's room here you could put a true queen in, but when that slide out closes, and I'll show you the slide close for road mode in just a minute here, that would it would interfere. Like the true queen bed is long enough, it would actually block the slide from closing. So, well, yes, but actually no is the answer there. Now, when they've upgraded this bathroom a couple times over the years, that nice large radius glass enclosed shower instead of just a shower curtain is very nice when you're in the shower. It does take away a little bit of your left elbow room when you're on the toilet, so maybe some people that's a concern. Maybe some people are right-handed and that's not a concern. This was the first generation. They upgraded that larger fridge. Things like the shower miser right there, which if you're boondocking is a water conservation system, so you don't waste any of that fresh water. Just while your shower's heating up, it doesn't just flow over into the gray tank. Now the traveling access on this one is stellar. This is what I was talking about though. When that sofa slide closes, you can still easily, I think, access the bed. You might crawl into half the bed, but for traveling, I can deal with that. But you just can't put a longer mattress in this one right here. And again, with the refrigerator right by the door and the bathroom right by the door, and the slide doesn't interfere with the opening of the bathroom door. If you need to make a traveling stop and you're like at a rest stop and there's like semis beside you and you can't open the slide out, you don't need to. You could make it through the night in this thing easy. So this thing, if you weren't aware, Rockwoods are a brand that I've always had a lot of respect for, but they are arguably about my favorite brand. If you just totally blindsided me and said, Josh, zero time to think, I want an answer now. Pound for pound, dollar for dollar, what is the best built, best value out there? And Rockwood is the name that is just on the tip of my tongue. And then when you start adding things in, like, I'm wondering here, there's got to be close to, I bet there's a solid or darn close to $1,000 worth of accessories included in on this thing. All these different leveling blocks and wheel chocks and, none of this is the cheapest entry-level variety of anything like that RV cover. The magnet holdbacks are nice to make for, easy baggage door access here. Little simple side mount solar prep plug on this guy. And as we back out under that power awning, you'll see that there's also, just above the grill hookup station, outside TV hookups. Now, one of the things that really works for this one here is the way that their suspension works. And if you're not familiar with RVs, there's a very expensive brand out there called Airstream. You've probably seen them. They look like aluminum Twinkies going down the road. They have just an incredible cult-like following for the way that they're put together. Well, here's an interesting factoid for you. Rockwood is not riding on Airstream's suspension system. Airstream adopted Rockwood's suspension system. And I think that says a lot. This is an all aluminum frame. We have the only part of this that's not laminated is the just the floor. But that's not a bad thing because this has the same kind of floor construction as a giant 14,000 pound luxury fifth wheel. This thing has a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking that can hold way more weight than this trailer ever throws at it, basically. And then there's just, this floor plan just works so well. Like the way the hookups are located back here in the rear corner, if you've never camped, you don't realize that is where your park hookups are basically going to be located. That is the best location for those things. And then remember, behind that sofa, there's storage back there. You don't have to just use it as like the Dynofa table storage. Now, we saw part of the pass-through, but it's so full of stuff that comes with the camper, you weren't able to see things like the handy Recurve R3 combination load leveling and anti-sway system, which has really quickly become just about my personal favorite travel trailer hitch. That's really my go-to for anything other than those like giant 10,000 pound trailers that frankly you don't tow very much anyway. It's one of the things I like about it is the way that the anti-sway is adjustable. So if you need a little more or a little less, depending on what it feels like when you're towing it. Not to mention the fact that unlike the old systems that had the chains and the bars and all that stuff, it is a near silent system. So if you pull in at night and you back into your campsite, it's not snap, crackle, popping like my kneecaps when I squat down. Neighbors will appreciate that come morning time. I mentioned the roofing, and if you're not familiar with this, basically the RV Armor system, it's like there's an entire roof coating system on here. But you might notice they have extra little seam tape areas in certain spots just to help really bulk up certain things. Like you'll notice around every single roof fixture, they add underneath it and across every roof seam that you could see from the manufacturer's level, they put a layer of seam tape down there, like around everything. Then they apply a full seal coat like all the way around that. I don't want people to get the idea that this is somehow magically a maintenance-free roof. I will tell you though, If you spend a little bit of this money up front, this is one of those things that will drastically reduce the amount of TLC and worry that you have to invest in this trailer down the line. This thing's awesome. I went inside and I asked my consignment manager, why is this thing here? And basically, unfortunately, previous folks weren't using it enough. So they purchased a brand new trailer, added all the accessories in the world to it, added an extra layer of protection on the roof, and then an RV cover on top of that. Double bagged it, basically. And just said we're not using it enough. Whoever takes this home, good for you. So I called it better than new. You let me know. Was I right or was I wrong? And if, when this footage posts, if this RV even lasts the remainder of that business day, frankly, I'll be very surprised. Now, we do trades, we do financing. We'll make sure that your vehicle can tow it before you give us your paycheck and your social security number and your grandmother's maiden name and blood types and all that stuff. When you're ready, we're ready, and we're happy to earn your business. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and have an A1 day, everyone.